Hi, you're about to watch a Date the Hallmark episode. Thanks for doing that. We want to let you know that today's episode is sponsored by Philo. You can get 25% off your Philo membership and watch all of the movies we're talking about by going to philo.tv/DTH.
Unlimited DVR, all your favorite channels in one place. Go to philo.tv/DTH. Philo is for everyone.
Enjoy the episode. This is a Bramble Jam podcast. Hi, I'm Bran, and I love When Calls the Heart.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, it's Panda. I like When Calls the Heart.
I'm Dan. I'm really coming around on When Calls the Heart. Just kidding. It's terrible. And this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast. Hey, everybody. You're the host of the show.
I just liked seeing it happen in real time. It was fun. Guys, it's Thursday.
Thursday.
It's When Calls the Heart Day. I want a quick status update. How you boys feeling?
How are we feeling?
Yeah, how you feeling?
Squirrely today.
Feeling squirrely. Okay.
Man, we just watched When Calls the Heart, and nothing really gets you going like When Calls the Heart.
My words for my notes are becoming fewer and fewer every single time.
I legitimately thought I was going to fall asleep, and not like in a this is so boring. Like it was like my dad on Sunday afternoon saying, "I'm just going to rest my eyes for a second," and like 2 hours later, he's still just conked out. That's how I felt watching this episode. So imagine my excitement when Elizabeth is still writing her book.
Yeah, I don't know what like.
People want us to keep doing this. That's what's crazy.
I know, and I understand. I understand that there's some sort of twisted satisfaction you guys get. We had as much optimism as anyone going into this. Me and Brand did, and season 1 was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we had good time.
It was a blast.
And then season 2 has been tough. And then season 3. We've said before, season 3 is not as bad as season 2, but. You know what it is? It's a slow death.
It's longer. Yeah, it's 1,000 paper cuts. That's right.
And it's just, it's like being hit by a spoon again and again.
That's right.
It's very slow. And it
might not kill you, but you will just, man.
It'll wear you down. It breaks your soul after a time. And I mean, I think every week I come in optimistic that maybe this episode's going to really change the tide.
Turn the tide, change the dynamic. Okay.
Change the dynamic, turn the tables. But none of that happens. And I'm starting to think that no matter how many more episodes we go into this brand, it's not going to.
I'm getting tired just thinking about it.
I want to quickly speak to Ashley, who left a review on Apple Podcasts. Please leave a review.
Please, we've not said leave a review in ages.
Leave a review. Ashley did.
Please do it.
And she said, not sure what happened. I've been listening to this podcast for over 2 years, and it's been my favorite podcast forever. But recently, it's gotten really weird.
What?
I can barely follow along anymore. All the weird voices and made-up characters. The last few episodes, I've just turned it off halfway through. I have a theory about that, Ashley. I think When Calls the Heart's responsible for this because we just have we have nothing else to do.
You think it's When Calls the Heart?
I think it's partly to blame.
Partly to blame.
Yeah.
I think we made a very unconscious decision or subconscious decision. I'll let you unpack that later in psychology.
Yeah.
And that decision was at some point we realized we could try to expand our fan base by just doing the reviews and occasionally throwing in a bit. Or we knew that the people that love us the most love the bits, a smaller audience they may be, and we all subconsciously said, this is who we are. We're bit people. That's what we do. And so it just has slowly evolved or devolved, depending on your opinion, into more bits. But if you can't follow along, that shouldn't be unusual. Sometimes we don't know what's going to happen next.
That's true.
Last episode, Panda introduced a character named Billy Bits.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you want from me because I think we got another really good review.
I also want to quickly bring up Coda, who left a review. The subject is used to love butt. They talk a little about how they used to like the show. But then says the antics increased to sound like a morning radio show geared towards 13-year-old boys when I hope to hear about the movie reviews. Maybe that's the stuff longtime listeners love. I don't know. But honestly, we all know the corny formulaic problems of Hallmark movies, but loved them in spite of that. Podcast isn't fun anymore. Instead of three guys embracing Hallmark, it sounds like three 12-year-olds trying to show off to their friends and do voice impressions in between actual content. And I think all of that is fair.
Wait till they hear what we did to sell books. I mean, it is what it is, guys. I mean, these are the jokes. I don't know what you want from us. Like, I'm sorry that you feel that way. But I don't think it's when calls the heart. May I suggest that it's the fact that we went from 1 or 2 days a week to 5 days a week. It's bound to happen. We've escalated our jumping the shark by years.
Yeah.
If we'd been doing 2 episodes, we wouldn't be to Billy Bits until like 2025.
2025 was a Billy Bits.
It was a Billy Bits year.
And we had penciled him in.
The problem is,
you brought him up
5. We just ran through all that material.
You brought him up early.
Jerry, like that was a 2023 bit.
So the 2030 bit about the ducks that go that go to the supermarket and buy out all the Lucky Charms.
Yeah,
that's
going to happen
to 2025.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen season 5.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
There's nothing we can do about that. The
we
bits
have
get
all the
moved
bits
up.
planned
Yes.
out. It's
It's like the creators of Lost. Like it's all there.
Right.
But the problem is 5 days a week, we just kind of had to scrunch it in, move it up.
So those of you that don't like us anymore, trust us. We get it.
We understand.
No
We can't
one
believe we
gets
still
it
do it.
more than us.
If you do like the bits, how about leave us a review and say so just to balance out some of those because we're still at 4.9. I don't know how that math works.
I don't know how that math works either.
We're still there, with well over 2,000 reviews, working on 3,000 by season 3.
Yeah. And please check out. There's so many good Hallmark podcasts out there without these bits. So please check them out.
The Hallmarkies are wonderful. They cover
the
everything.
Hallmark heartbeats.
Hallmark happenings.
Yeah, so many.
So many.
Bubbly Sesh doing a good doctor.
Bubbly
good
Sesh,
witch.
the good doctor. Please, if there's a whole thing on the good doctor, I'm
witch.
here for it.
The good witch, which
That
we're not
bird
touching.
is giant. The bird is giant.
Bird is giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Christmas.
So
doctor.
please check out some of the
The
other
Good
Hallmark
Doctor's
podcasts.
the Freddie Highmore show.
Yeah. The other Hallmark podcasts are great.
They are, and they do a lot of the content that we also do. I mean, but you're not going to get
Minus
Belly
the
Bits.
bits. But minus the bits.
And if you're anti-bits,
Yeah,
we understand.
And you understand the bits really they drive the bus here. Like we're just here. If the bit happens, it happens.
Yeah.
Bits happen. There's nothing we can do.
But thank you so much for your review. Season 3, episode 6.
Yeah. We're cruising right along.
I love how we never ever say leave a review anymore, but we'll read bad reviews.
Yeah.
There's almost an impetus to leave a bad review.
I love a good bad review.
I do too, but also leave us a nice one. Just put 5. You don't have to write us anything if you don't want. Just put
Well, how
5
about
stars.
this one? This one came in on Tuesday. 5 stars.
Okay.
Title: Couples Therapy. Nothing brings me the joy and entertainment I get from this podcast.
Wow.
Better yet, this is the only podcast my husband enjoys as much as I do. At least once a week, we get a laugh together and have a discussion inspired by something in the podcast. Keep it up, gentlemen. Spreading joy is a noble path.
You hear that, Ashley and John? These people are married, so they clearly aren't 13 years old.
Yeah.
I hope not, anyway.
Well,
We don't know
that for sure. It's not confirmed.
We think these people are adults,
Yeah.
and they think that we're funny. So I think that's the proof that we're all looking for.
That's all I needed.
Yeah.
I say we continue
But
on with
definitely
the bits.
look up the cookie bit from Sunday night, John. Or
Season
Ashley.
3, episode 6. Forever in my heart. I feel like this has been a title of an episode at least 4 other times. Has it not? No.
Forever in my
Dude,
heart.
one thing that Wild at Heart, what was this show called? When Calls the
Calls the
Heart?
Heart.
That's the
Wild
one.
at heart.
Whatever.
Hallmark After Dark.
Wild at heart.
What are you trying to say?
They never reuse titles. They're big on the in the heart.
They are big on,
And
how
they-
many times can they use heart in the title? But sometimes they just don't.
Sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they just say, you know what, we don't got one for this one.
Really?
For an example, I think last week's wasn't one.
No, it was a heart one.
Heart of a Hero.
I feel like there was one this season that hasn't been.
A Time to Speak. episode 3.
Okay.
So it's just like sometimes I like that those writers are in the writers' room and they're like, if it works, it works. Don't force it. So forever in my heart, what does that mean in this episode?
Because
It's the kids, Cody and the girl. Even though like she wants to adopt them, they want to be. They say it in the show. Oh yeah. He says like, "Am I something about it?" She says, Abigail says to Cody and the girl, like you
Cody Frizz?
not Cody Frizz. No, not Cody Frizz. I think that may be what they're talking about.
Yeah, no, I think.
Can
that's
you
fair.
imagine jumping in and somebody calling and just talking about all these events? And we've only said once he's from prison.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Season 3, episode 6, Forever in My Heart, first aired March 20th, 2016. And I want a little something like this. Lee gives Jack and Bill a list of employees who might be responsible for the issues they've been having regarding safety. Jack says that they need to keep the investigation shush. And Bill promises that they will do that, and they will look into the employees. Elizabeth and Abigail are in the cafe when Cody comes rushing in with a letter from his older sister, Becky, saying that she's coming to Hope Valley. At school, Elizabeth reveals some type of model volcano for the kids and says that they're going to have a science fair. Becky arrives in a wheelchair. No one knew about this. They're all very concerned and confused about what's going on. Lee, Bill, and Jack talk. Shockingly, they say, hey, maybe it's Gowan that's the suspect.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Because he's killed people. Wade helps Elizabeth fix a step in her house. Jack walks in. As Wade is leaving, Jack's not a fan of him. A movie is coming to film in Hope Valley. A bunch of the townspeople have been casted, except for Rosemary. She's not going to let that happen. Jack and Bill talk to another sawmill owner, and he says that Gowan had talked to him about trying to bring down Lee's sawmill, but he declined. Cody then tells Elizabeth that he and Becky are going to stay with Abigail. Woo! Nora arrives back in Hope Valley. Gowan greets her, and Bill watches from afar like a creeper. Rosemary talks to the film director and persuades him to give her a chance to prove herself in the movie. Nora and Gowan are having a picnic, and he explains how he's planning to buy the land that they're on right now, and that it's time to change and be a new chapter in our life. And she's like, well, maybe. Bill plays poker with Gowan. Gowan says that he had nothing to do with Lee's sawmill. He also says now that Nora is back in town, Bill would probably like nothing more than to drag his name through the mud and the mug.
My name's been dragged through the mud before.
It's not good.
We don't want any part
it's
of that.
sticky. The owner of the movie company comes in and says Rosemary's the best. We got to make sure she's happy despite the director being frustrated. Because of all the incidents, Wade and another employee tell Lee that it seems like it's the right time to shut the mill down. Becky needs to get her notebook, and so she stands up. It's a big deal. And Cody and Becky go to school. A woman named Caroline Connors enters the cafe and tells Abigail that she is Cody and Becky's aunt. And that, my friends, was When Calls the Heart Forever in My Heart.
Ever in my heart.
Phil Collins, the best.
To stay on now and forever.
How do you guys like Phil Collins did like the whole Tarzan?
So good.
Elton John did the whole Lion King.
What's his name? Did the Toy Story? Randy Newman.
How
do these guys get to do all? And some of the movies are more like
Billy Joel wrote a song for a Disney cartoon. What cartoon was it?
The Sandlot. Oh shoot. The Burger Boys.
Burger Boys. You want to give an answer?
Yeah. Hold on. It's hold on.
Burger Boys 2?
Nope. Hold on. I'm channeling it. I've got it right here. Lick-a-madoodle.
Okay. A, Lick-a-madoodle. B, All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Oh.
C,
Burger Boys.
Burger Boys. D, Oliver and Company.
Ooh.
E, The Candy.
This is tough. I loved Oliver and Company. I really loved Burger Boys. Lick-a-madoodle overrated overall. All Dogs Go to Heaven is fine. I'm going to go with The Candy.
The Candy?
Yes.
Okay, having heard your reasoning on all that, I think you're right. I'm going to go E, the candy as well.
It is not the candy. I don't believe it. It is Oliver and Company.
Oh.
Oliver and Company.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on Deck the Hallmark. We're back.
Really?
I thought you had something prepared. You looked like you were getting ready to spit some knowledge.
There's no need to prepare when Philo's the play.
Oh, yeah.
Sure is.
People may not like the bits, but there's nothing to bit about when it comes to Philo.
Bit this, bit that. Bit yourself onto some Philo.
25% off 2 months, unlimited DVR, lasts for a year. Nickelodeon for the kids, reality for the grown-ups.
I love reality.
Don't we all?
That's exactly right. And you can bite off less than you thought you would by getting 25% off by going to philo.tv/DTH. That's 25% off 2 months. Philo.tv/DTH. Yum, yum, yum.
Yum, yum.
Yum.
Welcome back.
Sometimes we are just crisp.
Yeah.
I'm talking like trains left the station.
Woo.
Everything's oiled up, ready to go.
And that's today.
That's today.
That's
we
today.
are, dare I say it, peak performance.
I don't know. Dare you
I don't
say
think
it?
you could
I
say
don't
it.
think you would. It's time to talk about When Calls to Heart, Season 3, Episode 6. What do we have? One more episode in this season? How long?
No, God, we could only hope and pray. No, there's like 13.
No, not in this one.
Maybe there's 10. There's more than 7. I can tell you that right now.
We're cruising.
We're cruising, though. That's what I'm saying. We're forever
will
in my-
we be with New Boys by next year?
I don't think so. Because I don't think we're stopping during the holiday season. Yes?
Yeah.
So I don't.
I'm not going to.
No, you're gonna.
I'm going to keep
There's
showing up here.
nine episodes, and the last episode has a 9.1 user rating.
Ooh.
It's called Prayers from the Heart.
That's a good title.
Big
Good
dog.
title.
That's a big dog episode of the week right there.
I want to know, in season 7, season 8, are they still doing the heart bit with the titles? At some point, they have to give up, right?
No.
Season 4 has got 11 episodes in it, and they're all hearts.
Okay.
They're not all hard.
They're
They
all
can't all be hearts.
They're all hearts.
Go to season 8. Take a gander at season 8. Like, they got to run out eventually, right?
Open season. Honestly, Elizabeth,
Yeah.
from the ashes.
Yeah.
Yep. No.
Yeah, at some point, they're just
You
like,
think- you know what it was?
Guys, I
is
can't
there's
do-
no more heart once Jack leaves.
oh,
See what they did
hate
there?
to see that.
Yeah.
You think that's true? After season 5, no more heart.
5 has Five's got hearts in almost every episode.
Okay,
How could you
season
be
6?
so heartless?
Season 6, did they cut it off?
Oh, hold please.
I'm holding.
Season 6. Phone rings and heartstrings.
Oh, there it is.
Queen of Hearts. Vote of confidence. Heart of a Mountie. Surprise. Disputing hearts.
Okay.
Hope is with the heart. A call from the past. 2 of hearts.
Hope is with the heart.
Yeah. I don't know.
Man,
A lot going on.
it's
there.
amazing what they can do with the word heart. It's amazing.
It's unbelievable.
It's an art.
It's a heart.
It's a
Yes,
hard
it is.
art.
It's a heart. It's a art. Let's get to this one, boys. A hot what?
Nothing.
A hot
We
take.
just have nothing.
Hot take. That's where we share exactly what we felt of this movie. No one gives a hotter take than Panda, the hot take taker himself. Panda, lay down some knowledge,
I'm
spit
confused.
some
If
truth.
he's the hot take taker, he can't give a hotter take because he's taking the hot takes. Which is it?
It's both.
No one gives a hotter take than the hot take taker.
He can give
He
the
giveth and he taketh away.
yes. The reason why he's able to give such hot takes is because he's taking them
Okay.
and
Yeah,
storing
it
them up
just-
for
it
himself.
stores
He's building.
exponentially.
He's building
Okay.
bigger
All
barns.
right, I'm glad we cleared it up. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I commented while we were watching this episode that every subplot that they had was building upon the boredom.
Right.
You had somebody who needed their tent fixed, which is by far the most interesting plot point in this.
There's a guy making a movie in town.
There's a guy making a movie in
I didn't
town.
even mention the tent.
I think the most interesting plot line is actually the one before that, which is Bill Avery's looking into who's messing with
Right.
Liv.
Yes. So then you have that. That's by
Then
far
tent.
Then tent, and then movie, then science experiment, and then barn dance.
Yeah, barn dance.
And
is right
I'm
there at the
telling you
bottom.
that none of these are particularly interesting on at all. Other than the Bill Avery story.
that's barely
And that's
interesting.
barely interesting. You're correct. And so I don't know. Like it's hard for me to sit here and give any sort of props to this show when all of them are all the plot points are boring. All of them are boring. I guess the other plot point is Jack's buying land probably to build a home for Elizabeth.
And then Cody is getting adopted by Abigail.
I mean,
we know that's happening.
There's a lot of subplots, but here's the problem: none of them go anywhere on a week-to-week basis, and they don't change anything. They amount to nothing, and I think that's what's frustrating to me about this show. If you felt like there was going to be some overarching change that the characters would go through, or something like that, but none of that occurs.
I think I get what you're saying. I don't disagree. I think the difficult part is what I wish that this show was like 85% Elizabeth and Jack just doing life.
Yes.
Being together. Because it's still, to this day, when they're on camera together, aside from certain episodes in season 2 when they're in Hamilton together.
It's still better than anything else.
They have the chemistry. They have the sparks. It's moving the show along. I just wish that they give equal time to these other storylines. And I don't know which ones matter and which ones don't. I didn't include the tent information in this episode because they were new people. Like, they can't matter,
but
right?
It's Jack hanging out with Faith.
Yes, well, Jack does hang out with Faith, but then after a certain point, it's no longer about him hanging out with Faith. It's about him trying to find out who the guy is behind this girl with the like. None of that to me is just like I just wish it was about Elizabeth and Jack.
Yes,
I wish it was their story, and all these other things are happening. And we can get bits and pieces of Rosemary trying to do the thing, and like I don't mind it. It's fine. It's just the volume that those other plot points are getting. I
actually think almost like 65-35. Like 60,
sure.
Like 2 out of every 3 things going on are Jack and Elizabeth.
It was not that.
No.
It was not that. It's not even close.
No. But that would be that's the mix you're looking for.
That's the mix I'm looking for. Like I can't express how much just like Jack and Elizabeth walking through the woods is better than 95% of the stuff that happens on screen that doesn't involve them.
Yep.
So just them being together elevates the show, and they're just not on screen enough together. I don't know why. I don't know why it's the case. So maybe season 4, when they actually end up really dating and pursuing marriage, like
but
maybe
then you
we
got
get
Paul
more of
Green
that.
coming to town. You got more characters. They're not going to do that. They just keep throwing.
I'm
characters.
never upset at Paul Green though.
I'm not either. But like they're going to throw more characters at it. They're never going to do that.
So that's where I'm at. I'm in the same basic boat as Panda. Like I just, it's hard to care about so many of these subplots.
Because they're not doing any of them well.
When the one main plot point we're not getting enough time with. So I just end up frustrated.
Yeah. Contrary to popular belief, I actually, like, by and large, 99% of all, like, popular culture, visual medium art, like, I leave my experience thinking it was good or bad, but also understanding that it's for someone. Like, if I don't like something, I always leave going, there's a group of people out there that this is for, it's not for me. So I can tell you I didn't like it, but also I can tell you that's my opinion. Every now and then I come across something that I'm just like, and maybe it's happened a handful of times in my life where I'm like, there is just nothing that I can find that I could understand or empathize with someone that enjoys this. And When Calls the Heart is starting to tread very close to that line. I have just continued to audit it through the eyes of people that I think would like it, and it has come up wanting. It is, I don't understand. I don't understand the appeal at this point. Aside from, I fell in love with Jack and Elizabeth in season 1, and I'm a completist and can't stop watching till the show's off the air. That is the only excuse that I think is a valid excuse for what we're saying passes as TV right now. It's bad. It's really bad. I don't know how many different ways I can phrase it. Every week we do this, I will try my best to come up with a different one. It is just inexcusable, the lack of any sort of forward movement that happens. And not in like a Sopranos way, where the Sopranos was about the people and there wasn't necessarily...
There's no character study here.
Yeah, it's not like it's a character development thing. This is just... lazy. It's just lazy and unfortunate, and you are wasting Jack and Elizabeth in this, and it's season 3, and it's not like it's Bones, where it's like, if we get Booth and Bones together, what are we going to do with the show? There's no crime procedural happening. It's not like Elizabeth and Jack are going to lose their flair for solving crimes if you put them together. They're just in a town called Hope Valley. Let them be together for the love. It's depressing.
But they're trying. We'll get to it.
Let's get to all the feels. Part of the show, we talk about one of this episode gave us feels. Panda feels for you?
The best scene, if you want to call it that, is Gowan and Bill Avery playing poker. Sure. And it's a feel of, okay, I guess this is happening.
Two guys staring at
one another. Yeah. And those guys stare really well. They're great. But no feels other than that.
Those guys stare really well in the feels section. That's where we are, guys.
I mean, listen. I'll go with it. Becky finally standing up gave me feels. She was doubting herself, and she hasn't. Like the doctor basically said, she hasn't wanted to make the progress. She'll do it on her own time, and she wanted to do it, so she did it. And it was
naming that girl Becky is going to complicate things because we tend to call Abigail Aunt Becky.
It's very confusing. Yeah. But what can you do? Yeah, that scene, as much as things gave me feels in this episode, that was the one.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have any real feels in this episode, aside from just trying to keep my eyes open. That was it. I didn't have anything else.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come right back here on Deck the Hallmark. Talk about We'll Go to Horror.
Oh, it feels good to be back.
Oh my gosh,
fresh as a spring daisy.
Yeah. What about daisies in the fall?
Yeah, no.
Daisies in the spring.
You know where you could follow me to, though?
What's that?
Daisy Hills.
I would. And twice on Wednesday.
It's a 2-for-1.
4 for 2.
Every day. That's not a deal. 4 for 2 is the grill. You get 4 for 2 anytime you want it, 24 hours a day.
And I stand by
4 for 2, 24/7.
So I do want to be so I put 2 patties.
No, stop it. Stop it. You're already sounding like a real dum-dum.
But
there are 2 grill plates.
Right.
On
like
either side.
Like a panini press?
Reverse it.
Okay. Reverse panini press.
4.
Yep.
For 2.
So how many patties do I put on?
It's not what the patties are about. How big the patties you make. Not about patties. You get all in the patty weeds over there. Stop it. Brandon Patty Weeds. Hey, Brandon Patty Weeds, how you doing?
Does the amount of patties that I put on the grill change at all?
4 for 2.
Right. So if I put 2 patties,
flip it. You flip it.
If I put 2 patties on,
which side?
The flip side.
2.
But if I flip it again, I get 4.
4 2.
What does that mean?
I don't know how much clearer I can make
If I put 2 patties on. And then I flip it. I get 4?
Why would you flip it?
You said to.
No, I didn't. No, flip it. Which side? I said, which side do you want to be on?
The standard side.
They're both standard.
Whichever side helps me get 4.
No, you don't get 4 like that. You put 2 on there. Why would you get 2 for 4?
Where's the number 4 come from?
You heard me.
Who's on first?
No, I'm actually, the more I've heard Rick explain it, the clearer it's getting for me. I'm with you. It's 4.
It's a reverse panini press.
How long has Rick Dilby been explaining the 4 for 2 George Foreman grill? Be honest.
For me as a person?
I think it's been at least half a decade.
Yeah, 6 years. That was what I was going to say.
I want to say 2015.
I have been listening to the 4 for 2 for 6+ years.
That's right.
And I still don't understand. The closest I've gotten is the upside down panini press, which somehow gave me some sort of barrier to which
it threw you off, and that's where I don't know if that's a helpful metaphor.
The numbers are the thing that throw me off. I don't know the point of it.
You need to think in terms of allegory when you're thinking of the 4 for 2.
How do you understand it?
4 for 2. I don't know what you want.
Except for the Wait What. It's the part of the show we talk about one of this episode minutes ago. Wait What. I'm going to start my panda. My panda is what I said, and I stand by it.
He's my panda.
He's my
panda.
They talk a lot about the community of Hope Valley and everything. You have these settlers who are living outside the town, and there's a lady who, is she pregnant?
Yes.
Okay.
Or does she already have the
She
baby?
might have already had the kid because they know it's a son.
Yeah.
And there's no one.
Ultrasound.
Yeah, a little bit before the gender reveal party back in the 11.
That's called birth.
Oh,
It's a boy.
Shocking.
Smoke everywhere. They didn't have that tech? Oh.
No. No one in that little settler community is helping that lady patch her poor tent or repair the
Nobody.
tent. Jack has to do it. There's tons of capable men in the settler
fend
community.
for yourself.
Yep. Sorry, lady. Tough. The only other thing I've got.
I want to ask you guys something about the settler community. Do you think if you were in the settler community, which resource would you have the most of?
Wood.
Okay.
Yes.
Or. All right, go ahead.
But I would ship it.
Right.
You
To who?
ship.
Yeah,
you had
ship it.
logs?
Yeah. Oh, you had logs.
I got an order here for logs.
That's it. Oh, that's all I got.
Elizabeth she introduces the science fair project with a volcano. And the only way I can explain this, we've all seen the volcano experiments where you do what? You pour the vinegar and the baking soda, right?
Classic.
Explodes, it's fun. This isn't that. This is a weird blood-like substance that she's pouring into the volcano and the blood is oozing down. It was odd. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Maybe if historically you can tell me maybe they did something else for.
No, I got nothing.
It was a very interesting looking experiment. It had the same result as the vinegar and baking soda trick, but with
less gumption.
With just more red. It was odd. And I just want to know, obviously, the scene of Becky standing up, getting her notebook gave me feels. But what monster put the notebook that high to begin with?
Well, the show is set up to where there's an answer to that question, but the way that it's shot undermines it because Elizabeth and Abigail in a previous scene say maybe she's not being pushed hard enough. Like they end a scene by saying,
so you think they
maybe
did it?
This girl in a wheelchair just needs a little bit more motivation to walk.
I thought
which
so
was a
too.
huge wait what for me.
Yeah.
Well,
like a huge
I thought that they had done it because they walk out of the room together.
Yes.
But then
when
they come back
in and they're shocked.
and they seem genuinely surprised by the goings on.
Correct.
So it was a very did they do it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I was confused.
One of my wait whats for sure was Abigail and Elizabeth going, hey, this girl's in a wheelchair. What if we just pushed her harder to walk? What if we hear me out? What if we just made it more challenging for her in a wheelchair so she'd want to walk more? I think that's a good idea.
You gotta want it.
You gotta want it, man. That's all it takes.
They're like Home Alone and unscrewing the wheels.
It's unbelievable. If it weren't for the scenes in Hamilton, I would be convinced that this show is like in M. Night Shyamalan's Village, because everyone is very convinced about what goes on out of town. You never see any scenes out of town, and then Abigail will be cooking in the kitchen with a colander from the Cuisinart collection in 2015, and you're just like, we don't have anything, just some stainless steel pots and pans we could give her. We got to give her. There's literally rubber handles on this colander. It's not 110 years old. I don't know why that we think that that's.
No, they don't make them like that.
And then who's the girl that comes back to visit Gowan again? What's her name?
Daphne.
No,
It's not Daphne.
Gosh, what's her name? It's Nora.
Well, Nora came back from town, and now she's a Kennedy. She just got a Massachusetts accent. She gets off the carriage, and she's like, that's not what the Gowan can do for you. I don't know what's happening there. Those are my wait what's brand.
It's time for the hopes and the valleys part of the show. We talk about things we're excited about for the future or bummed out
I love
by
that we made this, so you guys
or.
have to figure out something to be excited about.
I'll go first.
Do it.
I'm excited to see I don't hate the Cody, Becky, Abigail storyline. I don't hate it, and I think it's a fine plot point that doesn't maybe deserve the amount of time it's getting, but I don't hate it. I'm excited to see how it shakes out.
It's nice to see her get another chance to be a mom.
Yeah, forgive me, Pa.
Yeah, and also I think they had to throw in this possible parent, the aunt or whatever, but we all know.
But if we didn't know that Cody was on the show still, up until Abigail left town, we would maybe not know. And so I could see
But if they go with the aunt, what kind of college do they have a chance of getting into?
No, none. That's the thing.
None.
No one.
It took me a second.
Abigail's
than I did.
Abigail's, I think, gonna give them the best chance.
The best opportunity to get into a quality like school, even if it's a state school, like
That's
a
right.
quality
Still
school.
quality.
Quality.
Panda.
You know what? I hope Elizabeth ends up with Wade.
Whoa!
You heard me.
Whoa!
He's out there helping her fix the house around. You know what?
I think
He's
Wade's
charming.
a little shady. I'm shipping Jack and Faith, but Wade and Elizabeth.
I'm here for it. You know what?
But
I
let
would
me ask
love
you,
it if he is shady. He brings Elizabeth down into
She
his
goes-
dark,
she
shady
goes dark.
world.
If, But if Wade, wasn't shady, don't you think like after Jack died, Wade would have come back into the picture? Maybe he does.
I think he should.
Ooh.
And I bet he will. And I bet he'll compete for her heart.
Unless he's responsible for the Sawmill failings.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I
Think he might.
I
just
think he
be.
might be.
Yeah, could be. We'll find
Yeah.
out. Dan?
You got a
No.
valley?
There's no valleys in this show.
It's pure hopes, nothing. Valleys, gowan. Once again,
Wants to turn over a new leaf
but does
with
he?
Nora.
He's still trying to stop Lee.
We don't know that.
But
he
he's trying to romance Nora.
He said that he's not trying to stop.
One of the worst wastes of a character I've ever seen, and I'm going to just keep saying it every week. 'Cause that's what I do.
Pocket watch? No pockets.
I am concerned.
I am concerned as well.
Do you get the feeling that he
Yeah,
may
he's
be gone?
done so. That he's done so.
That maybe, just maybe.
I hate that.
That his time has expired.
Smolder rating. What do we have?
There's a couple good scenes in there for him.
I'll
to
give it a
smolder.
5.
Yeah, 5 and a quarter.
I'm gonna go 6 and a dime.
6 and a dime.
6.1.
Okay.
That's exactly right. You guys
sure.
ever use that term?
Six and a dime.
And a dime?
Yeah.
We did it, everybody.
We
Congratulations.
got some What's Calling My Heart.
That's exactly right. You can email us hello@deckthehomework.com. Let us know what's calling your heart, or just leave a review.
We got a reminder. I'm just going to go ahead and stop you right there. We got a reminder of some that we had missed. Clearly have been sent to a different email. And then we also got a couple new ones. This is from Pilar Reed.
Yeah.
Yo, guys, what's calling my heart is that I have to warn you about the post. The Jack season. Oh, I have to warn you about the post Jack seasons of When Calls the Heart. If you hate Elizabeth's book talk in season 3, you're in for a world of hurt in seasons 6, 7, and 8. Without giving anything away, it's a lot of book talk, and I hate to say it, but Elizabeth is as bad of a writer as she is a teacher, if not worse. Look out. Also, if you find the glacial pace of Elizabeth and Jack's relationship insufferable now, you'll probably need to trade in your Diet Cokes for something a little stronger to get through how long it takes her to choose her new beau after Jack dies. Topo Chico makes a hard seltzer now. Maybe try that.
What?
If that's true, Pilar, you have just really done us a favor. Topo Chico makes a hard seltzer. Can you just go ahead and Goog that right now?
Topo Chico.
Little Santa Claus. I know this is the 1910s, but I refuse to believe that any human man in any era would continue to pursue a woman for 3 seasons who won't even touch his hand, let alone hold it. Just hold someone's hand, Elizabeth. You're killing me over here.
Good Lord.
Get it, Pilar. I like it.
You gotta get Pilar on the show.
All that said, and I realize I probably did not make this sound any more appealing than it did before. Okay, we're ordering that, right?
Yeah.
You have to continue to slog through this show for the podcast. Maybe up the bits to 90% of each episode. Just an idea. I know the Hardys love your bits. Whatever you do, please don't leave me hanging. My misery needs your company. In solidarity, Pilar. What a well-written email, Pilar. And after all of our talk about, people not liking the bits, it's what we need.
I like a world that we live in where the Hardys are getting together and just slowly leaving negative reviews and saying how much they dislike the bits. It's the Hardys.
Yeah, the Hardys.
The Hardys.
It's the Hardys that are
It can't
doing it.
possibly be anybody else.
It can't be anybody else.
Oh, surely
I
not.
got some bad news, Dan. It's not near us.
What?
Pilar,
Can someone
can you
ship it?
Can you send
Pilar.
alcohol via the USPS?
Yeah, I think you can. Just say it's seltzer water. I'm not saying lie. That's a bad way
No.
to say it. Just ship it and don't say anything.
Daniel.
Just ship it and don't say anything. I've been called Daniel by you twice in this week. It's been something.
It's because
I'm not
he's
opposed. That's what you
disappointed.
call me off the air. It's kind of weird.
I know it just upsets me when your ethics are questionable.
What do you mean? Just it's hard seltzer. What's it got, like a percent ABV?
Dan, if you plan to lie, then you can lie to plan.
No. You know what? It's not wrong.
Put it on the board.
Yeah.
Okay. My pants is still showing, so we do have to.
We're going to figure that one out for later.
We'll be back tomorrow to kick off Christmas in July. Very excited about that. With Family for Christmas. Is that what it's called?
Family for Christmas. Yeah.
Lacey Chabert 2015 kicking off Christmas in July, right? Can't wait until then. May we be the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmarks of Bramble Jam podcast. It's presented by Philo TV. It's produced by Brandon Gray and recorded live in, Greenville, South Carolina. Set decor is by Plum at Haywood Mall. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on Bramble Jam Podcast Network, you can go to bramblejampodcast.com.